What's up, everybody? I'm Kyle Carlson, and this is the Rollback BMX Podcast, the #1 BMX podcast in the world, according to me. Today's guest is Mike Spinner. Mike is a retired professional BMX rider and the owner of Evolution Nutrition. Mike is known for playing a huge role in the progression of modern-day park riding. Mike was the first rider to pull a 1080 on a BMX bike. He was the first rider to do a quad tail whip on a BMX bike, among other things. And since retiring, Mike is the owner of a very successful sports nutrition company. Mike and I talk about when and why he retired from BMX riding, the great success he's found in his new gig, how that success was influenced by his time in the BMX world, riding for corporate sponsors like Ballpark Hot Dogs, his current relationship with BMX, and much more. And here is my conversation with Mike Spinner. So when did you actually retire from BMX riding?
Yeah, I guess retirement would, I could claim retirement in 2012, even though mentally I was probably retired at the end of 2010 and the beginning of 11.
Was 12, the end of 12, when you actually parted ways with all the sponsors, all the money, everything was gone?
No. So I think I parted ways going into 2013. So that was when it was official, where I made a choice of no more doing riding a bike or being involved heavily in riding a bike and focusing 100% on the company.
When did you know you were done? Like, why? What went through your head to know, like, all right, I'm out?
So without naming names, one of the sponsors basically said that they would actually keep rolling with how things are, and how things were at the moment were I was involved in 2 competitions, an amateur series, a pro series, and they all ended up at my house. But in reality, it was really good for the sport. It was fun, made me feel good. It made me feel like I was involved in BMX, and basically they said either continue doing what you're doing or, no more. And I looked at them and said, oh, I'm out. Like, not even hesitating on it. And I think they were surprised, and it almost made me stand up like, yeah, I am done.
Yeah.
And just to follow up on that, I remember that same company actually asking to be a part of the BMX contest again. And I said, oh, I thought we can't work together anymore. And they said, oh, no, for the BMX contest, that'd be really cool. And I said, no problem. I'll put everything on. Just cover the insurance, and I'm good for the backyard. And they're like, we can't do that. I'm like, well, I guess we're not going to do it.
What did the insurance cost? Was
a few $1,000.
Nothing crazy.
But it was more the point of just
principle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did the knee injuries have anything to do with it?
Oh, 100%. Tore my ACL 3 times. The first one, I came back swinging. And I won a contest and basically made it where I was still riding for a couple more years.
That was the dude tour in Chicago.
Yeah. 2010, I probably tell myself that every day, thank God, right? But then after that, and I did it again, that same knee, I could not look in the mirror and go, we're going to go through this again. We're going to start from let's get on a bike and almost forget how to ride a bike to you have to do stunts in the air. And you just have to be mentally prepared, physically prepared. And I was looking in the mirror saying, no fucking way I would do that again. I would go through that again. Or no way I could possibly do it again with what I put, the stress and such I put on myself. I couldn't do it again.
Were you kind of over the sport as well, or was it really just injury-based?
It was really injury-based because the sport actually, I moved from, I want to say, 07, 08, 07 I lived in Woodward Camp. 2008, I lived in Greenville, and then 2009, I hopped around all 3, Greenville, Woodward Camp, and then South Florida, which South Florida was basically just friends and home, which meant I was not training or riding or getting ready for a contest. And then when I tore my ACL that year, I built the skate park in the backyard, and all of a sudden, riding became awesome because I took all the bad parts of it out. So I took all the shit talking, the hanging out with people you don't want to hang out with, but that was the only place to ride. You had 2 places, either Greenville, North Carolina, or Woodward Camp were the 2 best places to be as a BMX pro.
And in that day and age, there was plenty of drama in both.
Terrible drama, just stupid drama. But today I even think back and I go, would I change anything? And I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm happy the time I did speak up, and I'm happy the times I didn't. Which it actually wasn't many times I didn't speak up. I should have, in going into this career now, one big thing I've learned, and I tell myself this, and I tell any friends of mine in business and or BMX today. I go, one thing I'll teach you that I've learned myself, just shut the fuck up. Just keep your mouth shut. It won't help you anywhere. You want to say it. You want to tell that dude to go fuck himself. You want to tell that dude that he looked at you right before you went down on the ramp to do a trick and he vibed you. It doesn't matter. Just shut up. Like, I've done it though. I was that dude, you know.
Learned the hard way.
Yeah, I learned the hard way. But now in this, business, keeping my mouth shut and just being just have my own opinion of myself, and the real friends that you really have, hanging out with someone and talking to them at a bar for a couple hours does not mean those are your good friends.
Yeah.
That means those are people in your industry and they're cordial, and at the end of the day, and the sports nutrition industry is very big, so we can all share and play. We can play nice. But in BMX, it wasn't. It was not that big. Yeah. And we were all trying to take and steal the same $100.
Yeah.
Obviously more than that, but right?
Yeah, no, 100%. So I know today you'll pop up at a BMX event every now and again. So it seems like you actually have a pretty good relationship with BMX.
I love it. I think about it every day. It was what got me out of my hardest times when I was younger, and it was what I did every single day when I was a little kid. I was 10 years old, riding a bike all the time, riding for a ridiculous amount of hours a day. Just like any of us pros that are here today, we've probably all went through the riding from the hours of 3 to 8 hours a day.
Totally.
Like, that's ridiculous.
That's
I think
insane.
about it now, you know? Or now I'm married now, and I definitely have a lot of people that will say, oh, are you excited to have your kid, ride as a pro? And I look at them and go, hell no. I want them to go to college. I want them to be very smart, and I want them to, be on a computer and be very good at Excel.
Cryptocurrency or golf.
Yeah. Is that crazy though?
Yeah. Was there ever a time between your retirement and where you are today when you just didn't watch riding, you didn't follow it, you didn't check a website, where you just blacked out BMX, or did you always keep an eye on it and always keep it in your life to some extent?
No, I'm happy you asked that, actually. Trying to picture myself. When I get overly obsessed with something, nothing else matters. So the only times that I've totally, blacked out from riding, from even knowing what was going on, was when I was, let's say, just dealing with business issues or contracts or agreements, that I was so invested in what was going on that one of my good friends runs a big .com. He's the CEO for a .com, and he said to me, he goes, hey, I can't believe I'm a big movie. I go to the movies a lot, and he goes, did you see all that, what's going on all the hacks? And I told him, I go, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hacks meaning like
when North Korea or South Korea.
Okay, yeah.
Right, where they were hacking into Sony and all these.
Yep.
Right, so he's like, hey.
That Seth Rogen movie, right?
Yes.
What was it called?
It was a great movie.
It
Fuck,
was.
I'm not sure. But it was awesome, and I've seen it multiple times. It was really stupid.
James Franco, right?
Yes.
Yep, it was good.
And they did not like that movie. Yeah, North Korea, right?
Yeah, correct.
And but right, they were the ones doing the hacks, or supposedly, right? And they hacked Sony, pretty hardcore stuff. And he asked me about it, and it all makes sense what I'm saying. I had no idea, zero idea. All I knew was agreement, signing, contract, manufacturer, logistics, very, very boring stuff to keep the company going and moving forward. This is when I was working out of my house and nothing else mattered, but I was in the entrepreneur state where nothing else matters but, to the business, Yeah.
So. The Interview. That was the movie.
Yes, yeah.
That was good.
That's kind of funny. But yeah. So that lost touch with BMX, but I lost touch with fucking the world for 3 months.
So in order to lose touch with BMX, you also had to lose touch with
everything.
Potential terroristic threats to your country.
Everything. Yeah. I know nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing else. And then, so I always, it was fun watching it. I think there's times when it definitely gets very, watching a lot of the contests. I like to watch the finals because then you get right into what's the newest, baddest tricks and ways people are doing, riding or whatnot. And it's always different, of course, but it's crazy that some of the stuff that, Daniel Dares and myself are doing, people are still struggling to do.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes almost bothering me because I'm like, that was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you guys be doing there's only a few guys that I'm like, oh wow, that was pretty nuts.
I mean, you and I were talking the other day about how so few guys do 540 whips.
Yeah.
And not many guys do 900s in the traditional sense.
Yeah.
A lot of guys do the cork 5-flare 9s.
Jamie Bestwick and I were actually just talking about 900s.
Yeah.
And he said, he goes, yeah, everyone does that 540 flare. Obviously, I could do a flare struggling, but so I can't even understand how they do it.
Correct.
But he said, yeah, it's just safer.
Yeah.
To get out, or you just loop out. But when you just do a straight up 540 tail up or a 900, you're either landing it or you're pretty screwed.
Yeah.
There's no middle.
Yeah. 7 double whip is another one you did.
Yeah, 7
Did you
double
just
whip.
resi that?
I did resi. First try resi, and it was really, really good.
So you did it first try on the resi and then never real ramp.
Yeah.
Amateur move.
Yeah, I know. 2008, so a decade ago.
How crazy is that? And I'm sure I'm going to get eaten alive for this, but the only guy I can think of doing it off the top of my head is Baldock does them. But aside from that, like...
Daniel Sandoval, didn't he do
he
it? Or was that
probably
the
has
bar,
done it.
maybe?
He's done... I'm sure it has happened, but as far as on a regular basis...
Yeah, only Kyle Baldock.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
Which is so crazy, because, I mean, that's what you said 10 years ago.
And he won, and Kyle won 2 X Games?
2 X Games best tricks.
Back to back?
The 2 Dave Mirra best trick contests that have existed to this point.
Wow, that's great. And Dave was actually at the... it was just me, my friend Mike, and Dave at his warehouse when I did the 720 double whip, and I was going to do it, and I remember yelling at Dave, hey, Dave, just watch this. I didn't even want to explain to him, hey, I'm going to try the 720 double. I'm like, just watch.
Yeah,
and he was fixing his bike or something, and he looks and goes, he gave me like he wasn't riding yet at the moment, so when someone does a trick really, really good and you're not even warmed up yet, you kind of want to tell him to go fuck themselves. So he was, I'm like... He's like, oh, yeah, cool spinner. What? Yeah. Like, cool, I'm going to air 10 times higher than you.
Do a 540 whip 10 feet in the air on
I'm just going to air higher than you ever.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, tell us about your company.
Yeah. Started sports nutrition company. Started selling product, sports nutrition, pre-workout, post-workout, protein, fat burners, you name it, in the sports nutrition world. I really thought, and I still feel it's really long-term goal would be to definitely get a lot of action sports guys drinking, post-workouts, BCAAs, a lot more over time than Monster, Red Bull, Rockstar. Just, in the partying and stuff, I understand. But, while we're riding and stuff, that's definitely, a much better choice.
Yeah.
That was definitely the long-term goal. Getting into it 5 years ago with my head down and just, coming up with good branding, almost looking at, all these energy drink companies. But I think the most important thing that I think we all as riders forget about is we're such in the weeds on, if you have a bike sponsor, you're so in the weeds of working with, let's say, the owner of the brand, or let's just say, the team manager, and they really, really care and they really, really want to have your input. So you start to really learn about branding, marketing, building a pipe. And the thing that I used in BMX and learning from Monster and everything was, how can we build a pipe before we actually come up with the brand or come out and sell the brand? And I was told after the fact, I didn't know, but I was told after the fact that we were the first sports nutrition company that ever came out with, we call it swag in the sports nutrition world, but in BMX it's called T-shirts, right? And we were coming out with swag before the actual products that we were really trying to sell, we were selling.
Yeah.
So we were building the brand, building the social media channels, just like what we would do in BMX. But I did it in sports nutrition, and it was like, oh my God, you actually care that much and you're giving out free shit before.
So when you were kind of putting it out there,
yeah.
Was it just a logo, or was it saying we are a sports nutrition company?
Yeah, it was just a logo at first. When we launched, it was in the mix of when we were putting on the play competition in my backyard, which Vital was involved in, Vital BMX, and Kyle, you were a big part of putting on that contest, and a few other guys. And basically, we didn't know what it was going to be. So I was still riding for Monster Energy. So I had the logo and we're just seeing what it was going to do and if people cared or not. But it looked really good in photos. I obviously had an image and a goal. Long term, it was going to be a sports nutrition company. But Monster was the one who's, covering all the costs for the contests and such.
So it was weird. I mean, not in a bad way,
definitely Monster said make a choice on what I wanted to do the following year.
Yeah.
If I wanted to continue to put on BMX events and be involved in BMX amateur series and pro BMX series, whatever it was going to be, they were down to support it. But I had to make a choice, either do that or, do my own thing. And I said, I'll do my own thing. You got it out of me.
And how'd that work for you?
100x better.
So for those who don't know, the name of your company is?
Evolution Nutrition. So a lot of people, if you see a logo where it just says EVL, and then under it, it says Evolution Nutrition. And now we're in Walmart, Amazon, and bodybuilding.com. And then now we're starting to work internationally, and we're growing slowly, customer-wise, but we're growing really fast to consumers.
I guess throwing it back to BMX a little bit, I believe I recall you telling me that you kind of got into sports nutrition during one of your knee injuries. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what aspect did you get into? Who was somebody telling you to take something? Did you discover this on your own?
Yeah,
how did it pop up in the first place?
I had a really good friend of mine that was in sports nutrition, and he said to me, hey, when you're recovering and stuff, obviously we all party, drink whatever you want. When you're partying, drinking, Monster, vodka, Red Bull vodkas, whatever, but protein, amino acids, and so forth. So I started actually working out. I had a gym, I had a trainer. When I started riding, I was really taking care of my knee. I was really lifting heavy weight specifically for my knee. And then when the 2010 Dew Tour came, I won that contest from, working really hard, from loving to ride my bike, but also going to the gym every day and eating, not the healthiest, but eating good, but really drinking the right stuff as far as protein or BCAAs, amino acids.
Now, did your trainer put you onto those, or how did you discover the correct
that
mix?
Was from my friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, since then, was that kind of the seed was there that this is something you want to pursue business-wise, or was that?
Oh, I knew I always want to do some type of business, and I failed out on multiple little businesses.
Yeah.
And I would say, and that was during, even though those other businesses were during when I was riding, without getting into details, just basically one thing I learned was when I was trying to do a mix of both, riding, BMX as a professional, I was doing really well with sponsorships, and I was trying these other side businesses, trying to get friends of mine to work a job to make it work or whatnot. I realized after each one that was a failure and wasn't a big loss, it was more time loss.
Yeah.
And mental punch, but I realized I had to just go all in. After I learned about sports nutrition, then I won my next big Dew Tour contest, which really was the thing that probably held me together. Would you say so? That contest.
Yeah, I kind of thought you were done going into that, yeah. And then you showed up and unclicked the turn down and took the win.
Yeah, with a 1080. Yeah.
Ignore that.
Yeah. But I fell in love with sports nutrition, but I just thought there could be so many cooler ways to brand it. So if you went online, it's real simple, and I don't care what anyone ever says, and everyone said it to me when I rode BMX. There's no more new tricks you can do in BMX. And I would, I can't even express, if someone was in front of me and I have a list of professionals that were in front of me and they said that to me, I was very quick to say, you're a fucking idiot or you're lazy. And that was at Woodward, that was in Greenville, everything. And in business, it's even easier. There's so many ways to go. So you go online and you look, what are the top nutrition companies? And you look and go, oh, those look really cool. Oh, they're successful. How about these? Wait, these other 3 companies are successful? Those labels look terrible. Yeah. What other products do they have? Oh, they don't even have any products. That's just their one product. Maybe we could do something better than that. Maybe I could do something better than that. It's pretty cool. I mean, we're living in a in a country where we can just do anything we want tomorrow. You can make an LLC or a corporation tomorrow, and you could try something, you could fail, and you could, in a month, you could be trying something else. I mean, where else can you do that so easily?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
motivational.
So when you actually first started it, you were actually running it out of your home.
Yeah, we did. I could say some numbers here. Before I left my house, in my house, we did $2 million in a year. And what was crazy about that was I had so many pallets inside my house. And when I say $2 million, maybe people might not understand. If a pallet has, let's just say my top selling product was, I want to do some math. So it understands, right? Because it's kind of hard to explain to someone what that even means.
For those listening, Mike is doing math on his phone.
Yeah. So 1,600, we sold it for $20. So 30. All right. So a pallet's $32,000. So let's just say $2 million. So 2 million divided by, let's just say 32,000. All right. So 62. I mean, I can't even explain how we did it. All I'm trying to do is try to put in perspective how many pallets we had in and out of the house in a year, just time frame. Does that make sense? Like, how do you explain that?
Yeah. So did you have to get your house zoned for that? Or
No.
Was it illegal?
Gray area.
Yeah.
Gray area. But I also had a fucking 12,000 square foot skate park in my backyard. That was gray area too. Just no neighbors said anything. So
yeah,
it was all good.
Let it ride.
Yeah. Basically, we ran it into the house basically until until the trucking guys were looking at us like we're crazy. You know, like you have to get out of here. Like this, no one does this.
Yeah.
How are your neighbors okay with this?
This isn't, I'm selling $100 worth of t-shirts a month. No. This is, I'm running a legitimate business.
Yeah. We're selling to everywhere I think we even had a few international orders from the house. So what happens is international orders, the way it works is, and anyone in business, you guys could learn on this. In international, you do not send any product unless they give you money up front.
Did you learn this the hard way?
No, I did not.
Okay.
That just seems so obvious, right? You're never going to meet this person ever. They'll probably not exist ever again. They might buy one time. As you get bigger in this business, unless we know you, unless we have an agreement with you, we won't sell to you. But at that point, when you're out of the house, if someone wants to buy $20,000 worth of stuff, you're not going to say no.
Yes, correct.
Right? So basically, we would have, let's just say an international order, and they buy it, they send you a wire, and then they're going to pick it up from the location. They're paying for everything.
Yes.
And all of a sudden they're like, no, it's sending you to a house with a skate park. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. Why is there a skate park? So that was funny. That's cool. I hope it was a good story.
Yeah. So at what point when you started the business, what was the first milestone when you were like, okay, I'm onto something here. I can do this. This is going somewhere.
Yeah. I'd say first one was when, so it's all like margins and overhead, etc. So I felt like I did some math in my head, like I just did on my calculator, but it didn't feel right saying those numbers, so I didn't want to say them. But basically, I'd say the first few months of 2013, I remember just doing the math, and I was taking no salary or anything, but just running the numbers going, oh, I'm already more successful than I was riding a bike. And that was
that while the business was still out of your house?
Yeah, still out of my house.
Wow.
I just ran the numbers based on, what the profit is, what's a company worth, what do companies sell for, how much could it bring if it continues to grow, et cetera, like that, and forecasted it down. I was like, oh, I won. I did it. And I'm talking a few months in. So.
And I mean, just to be clear for those who don't know, you had a handful of corporate sponsors and won a handful of corporate events. You were making a few $100,000 a year riding BMX.
Yeah. So
you were doing that times quite a bit.
Yes. Yeah, because obviously I'm talking about the bottom line. So it was pretty quick. Yeah.
I know you had a couple guys working for you in the beginning, and a lot of them are still with you.
Yeah.
How did you pick that team?
Yeah, so a few of the guys that started working with us now that are there and that are not there, it's almost like the friend that you always have for a long term. You trust them with your life, but at the end of the day, not everyone has the same drive as you, right? Or where not everyone has a work workaholic attitude. I mean, I don't even know.
Might be a bad thing, but
yeah, I'm like thinking who's going to listen to this right now, and I'm like, nah, those guys are really lazy, so they might not actually listen to it.
Hey, if so, they can go to hell. That's from me.
Kyle said that, not me. But the guys that are still with us are the crazy work ethic guys that have grown with the company, that we all have got smarter. I never thought I was a manager. Like there's managers, there's directors, there are coordinators. It's like basically the title kind of goes along with how many people you're managing.
Yeah.
And technically when we started up, it was a startup. There was no titles, until recently. Like we really tried to avoid titles until like we got to about 20 people. It's like, all right, people need to know who their boss is. And I tried to avoid it as much as I can because it was kind of fun to make it where it's like, nope, we're all equals and we're all have the same goal. But eventually too many people ask. Yeah. And then we fire those people. But then, we've had a lot of turnover.
I think that's any business.
Yeah.
Especially somebody like you who's such a workaholic.
Yeah.
You expect a lot. And I know you take care of your guys.
Yeah.
But, so are you president?
Yeah, that's the title.
That's real creative.
Yeah, the president.
How many employees do you have?
Currently, I think we have 24, 25. We actually had more last year. And then we did the whole, like, I call it, if you ever seen that show, Hello Prophet.
Yeah.
Where, they dig into, they open the hood, they ask every question to every single person that works there, from, the guy doing the books and sending out invoices or paying the bills to, the warehouse worker who's working his ass off for, an hourly wage.
Yeah.
Looked into that, and I just saw so many inefficiencies that we just put it together, and we X'd out a lot of actual higher up manager people saying, wait, and I did the whole, what do you even do? What do you do every day? And I knew there were things they did, but like, okay, I understand you have 8 hours worth of work, but it's a 40-hour work week. What are you doing for the rest of the 32 hours?
Yeah.
And when they stuttered, we just said, would you like to leave?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're paying somebody, 60, 70 grand a year, I think you expect,
None of the guys would let go getting paid that much.
Okay, those guys are sticking around.
Yeah. Those are the badasses.
Do you think that you could have found success in this business if you didn't learn so many lessons through BMX?
No way. I think that's why I'm so like. Can I say where we are right now? Or
yeah.
So we're in France. We're at Montpellier. So it was a contest that I competed in a decade ago. Three different times here, and had so much fun. But I just get this like gut feeling like I'm a little kid. So I'm here with my wife, and I basically, when you and I were texting, I'm like, hey, we're gonna get to the hotel. You're gonna go to the hotel, and I'm gonna go with Kyle to like. I'm like so excited to hang with you, almost trail behind you because I know we can just kind of go everywhere, and I'm just getting that gut that butterfly gut feeling of like just looking around, going, oh wow, like almost tears to my eye, like. That excitement, but this is what taught me everything. Yeah.
What are some of the lessons, just to touch on a couple, that really got you moving in this that you learned from BMX? Is there any stories you can pinpoint, or is it just overall business management and being on the ball?
Overall business management, relying on nobody, right? Right? You could agree. Absolutely. There. Relying on nobody, work, like if you want to learn a bicycle trick, you learn it on your own. No, like buying a better bike tire or a better frame isn't going to all of a sudden make you be able to do that trick, right? So like, I think when I was younger, I used to think that if I bought this bike part, I could be able to do this better trick. Just work ethic, positivity. Like when being on the park, you're with other riders that are also professionals, top guys that. If you're giving good vibes, like, hell yeah, good job, or that was sick, or how was that ramp? Did it feel good? Did it feel right? So
asking questions. Yeah, thank you. That's actually asking lots of questions. I ask more questions now than I did when I rode. And when I rode, I asked a lot of questions. So you probably bother a lot of people.
I bother a lot of people. One of the manufacturers started calling me Master Spinner, and I didn't understand why. I thought he was just fucking around. But he's like, no, you asked me so many things. You asked me to do so many things that I just started calling you Master Spinner. I didn't mean it that way, but I'll take it.
That's a good problem to have, I think, right?
Yeah.
So I know you don't want to get into it too much because you're a bit modest, but you've found pretty good success.
Yeah, doing really well.
The average person has no Teslas, and you have two.
Got a couple Teslas. We had actually the Model 3 is the new one.
That's the cheaper one, right?
Yeah, yeah. If you call it cheaper, it's still $60,000. That's the cheaper one. And Danica Danica had we have. I'm an Audi. I started driving an R8. I like track my R8. You know,
is your R8 not street legal anymore?
No, it is. It still is. But
okay.
Not with the tires I have. Now you're not supposed to drive. I have slick tires, so it's supposed to be better for the track. But you switch them now. I'm like, I have a trailer. I have a roll bar. I have the driving seats. I think my friends that got me into this sport, because I recently got to a level where I'm able to be in a certain group and I could drive with other guys.
With other rich assholes.
Yeah. So I actually said to them, I go, thank you guys so much. I sent them a picture of the wristband I got. It's like there's 4 different levels.
Yeah.
Now I'm on the 3rd level. And I said, thank you guys so much. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here today, and I would have more money in my bank. It's crazy. But I had to say this, and no one will understand this, but maybe you will, Kyle. So we're driving in these cars. Everyone has these expensive cars. I have an R8, and mine's probably on the bottom of the bunch. I'll say that,
I believe
right?
that.
And everyone has $200,000 to $300,000 Porsche. It's insane, right? It feels so safe.
Really?
Compared to what I used to do here at this contest, where we're doing tricks next to the water, where this guy that just built these ramps 2 days before, we're at famous tracks. I go to the Sebring racetrack, which is a very famous track in the world that people travel around the world to go to.
Yeah.
We're at a skate park, or we're at a skate park that they just built a couple days ago.
Half over the water
by guys that know how to build construction, not ramps.
Drinking beer while they make it.
Right? Without many rules.
Yeah.
At the track, there's so many rules. I mean, you pay for what you get, so there's lots of employees there that are telling you, do this, do that. If you fuck up, you have to come in and tell them why you fucked up. There's a pretty
safe. Serious amount of checks and balances for it. Also, you pay a lot of money, then you follow a lot of rules.
Yeah. Is that crazy? And you paid a lot. But you're being told what to do, but it's all for safety. And I actually told some of the guys that I met that run the whole thing, I said to them, I go, I never thought I'd feel so safe driving 110 miles an hour on a turn.
Yeah.
I'm literally 110 on a turn.
That's crazy.
And I feel more safe than I did riding and doing tricks anywhere, anytime,
Yeah. So, yeah.
Sounds weird.
So you have the R8, you have 2 Teslas?
2 Teslas.
You have the Model 3?
Model 3, Model S, we got a Q7. And then, is that the only car? Yeah. Oh, and that's it. So, yeah. What do you mean?
A little bit embarrassing. You probably need something new there.
We were talking about it's called a Roadster. Tesla has it. Yeah. So it's so you either have a down payment of $50,000. I can't believe we're talking about money like this, but this is so retarded, right? Fuck.
I want to know about it. Tell me about it.
So
that's the one they sent into space. The Roadster.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. So it gets good. So for $50,000, you put a down payment of $50,000. Sorry. Down payment on your credit card of $5,000. In 7 days, they expect to have $45,000 wired into their account. And then in 2 years, you will pay them $200,000 and you'll get your car. I got one better for you. However, if you want a certain color, a special edition color, send them $250 right now. You'll get a better color.
In 2 years.
You
got to plan on not dying if you're writing that check.
Right?
So are you doing it?
No, I think that's pretty crazy to wait 2 years.
You're still a cheap asshole deep down.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts. I'm actually where Danica and I were building a man cave extra bedroom. I don't know. We just did a bunch of work to the house. We got the whole hurricane windows thing.
Nice.
When was it? Last November. Some hurricane
when it got crazy.
Really close to us.
Yeah.
And the power went out. I flipped out. So I was like, fuck that. Never going through this again. So I got a gnarly generator where if the lights flicker, everything goes on. It's all good. I got a 1,000-gallon gas tank under my house now. We got the hurricane windows. And now we're gonna build a 4-car garage with an extra an extra living space and then a bedroom,
in the
kitchen.
backyard, or
yeah,
what?
In the backyard.
Oh, no way, that's awesome.
Just have more room, and I need more room with the cars and stuff. And then I still only live I think it's 1.8 miles away from work, so that's kind of cool. So
yeah. Are all your ramps still at that skate park kind of by your house?
The BMX ones are.
Yeah.
I want to say, obviously, they have an under. If you've been there, they have an under. What is that called? An awning. Yeah, they have an awning. So basically, they definitely keep their ramps pretty good under there. But then my ramps were BMX ramps, so everyone thought I had skate light and stuff, but I did not. We just painted them and we kept them up really well. So last time I was there, it's maybe been 6 months or so. But for what it is, they've done a great job.
Nice.
You know,
that's awesome. One thing that I still see a lot of Instagram comments about and stuff, and it's kind of synonymous with you, is the Ballpark hot dog shirt.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about Ballpark? Was that as much money as everybody likes to think it was?
Yeah, it might be. I think the money might have been more than they actually think it was. I want to say without Ballpark, I would not have had a skate park. I would not have had a house. I would not have probably been here at this very moment. I'm trying to say, how do you word how well it was?
Just give us a dollar amount.
Yeah, it was $150,000 a year.
How many years?
08, 09, 10, 11. So 07 they sponsored me, and then 08, 09, 10, 11. So a solid 4 years of 150, and that was of course on top of Monster, which was number 2. My hyper.
And those were the good energy drink days, right?
See, I don't need from obviously I'm still friends with my agent.
Of course.
Brad Lusky.
Of course.
And so I obviously know that he's told me it's not as healthy as it was. But yeah, I was $100K a year.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know any better. So between Monster, Ballpark, then I had my bike deal, which I still am sponsored by Hyper Bikes right now.
Yep.
And what I'm told, I still have probably one of the top bike deals as is right now. What's up?
I think you do.
So I said, am I on the reception for the wedding? Yes. I was like, so I'm still considered a pro BMX rider when Brad was giving a speech to like my close family and friends. And Brad looks at me and goes, nope. They're paying you for your name, Mike. He totally put me in my place. And he looks at my dad and goes, we should actually be giving money to your dad, Barry Spinner.
Yeah. Switch it over to the exact same bike, the Hyper Spinner is the Barry Spinner signature.
No one would know.
Yeah. How is that? I mean, is that weird for you, the fact that you still have this bike deal in place and you're and not distant from BMX, but
it's really cool.
Yeah.
For myself being in the sports nutrition world and being a businessman, a lot of times if people put me in a category as, let's just say, oh, he's a BMX guy that made money riding his bike, it's kind of cool to throw out there, oh, I own a sports nutrition company and I have one of the number 1 selling bikes in Walmart. And I normally end with like a smile, or they'll either ask more questions or I'll walk away. Because a lot of functions that we go to now from either just networking events. I hate saying networking events because normally
sounds so douchey.
It sounds like worse than douchey, like you're sucking dick. Like you're just sucking dick. So, but networking events when you could actually get something out of it, which means get not money, but get like good advice or something that people have been through in businesses. Like, hey, I have a company with 100 employees. Can I help you with anything? Yes, actually you can. How do I deal with all those personalities? Yeah. Well, that's never going to stop. Like I've learned so much from my mentors that I have, but also going to those kind of events are kind of fun because they've been in those situations. I've been to a few of those call it networking events, and I wound up not going back to them because they wound up someone's always trying to sell you something afterwards.
Gotcha.
Right, but then I wind up just making friends with guys that I party with that are also in business that also have, let's call it 20, 30 employees.
Yep.
So we probably have more fun or let out the frustration in those hours, of the night.
I think we were talking about your hyper bike, and all of a sudden we're talking about...
Wow, fuck. I'm sorry. Absolute. Yeah.
So, hey, no, but this day and age, you can go to most Walmarts and find
all Walmarts.
All Walmarts and find your bike and your supplements?
Yeah. So right when we got into Walmart on the nutrition side, I want to say August last year. I remember going to the store. First, I saw my bike. And I had my buddy film it, and I walked from the bike straight to the supplements, and I go, this is crazy. Right? Isn't that cool?
Yeah. I wonder how many people have their hands in that many things in Walmart.
In Walmart?
That are so unrelated, two completely different.
No. Yeah. So, shit.
George Foreman grill and some boxing gloves or something.
I was trying to think of something really funny. Probably something to do with spermicidal lube or something,
Yeah.
And dirt.
I don't know.
Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Superbad. I don't fucking know. It's trying to be funny.
What's your take on the current state of BMX, the Olympics, and all of this?
Right when the Olympics got announced, I was on Twitter. I actually go on Twitter just to see the upcoming news, what's going on with Trump and Daniel Dares. Because for some reason, that's where Daniel actually talk English. And I have to actually understand what he says in 140 characters. And I saw Olympics were in from him, and I think in Vital. And I freaked out, and I was so happy. I could not be more happier. And so for BMX and the Olympics, I think it's the best thing long term. Short term, compared to when I was really in it, compared to right now, I don't think it's as healthy as it was. Corporate sponsors aren't in it. I think I know why and what happened during that whole skateboarding broke away from the Dew Tour and
Street League. I think that was the main cause. You think that brought just the Dew Tour was the root of all of these corporate sponsorships?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I do feel that was the reason why a lot of it kind of just started tumbling down. We're at Feast, where I know it's not the biggest financially paying sport, but it seems like for BMX, but I think it's the best, most consistent there is right now. And with the Olympics being in, I think there's going to be a lot of money going back towards the sport. And I think people forget, like, it's something no matter what. A lot of these guys that are here, professional riders, they're going to be riding their bike no matter what. As long as they can somehow find a place to live and break even and eat food, I think they're going to be riding as hard as they can and drinking as hard as they can, except if they can make a good living on it, maybe the sport might actually progress more because there'd be a little more intelligence on it. There'd be possibly, you don't practice at the contest, drink that night, and then go back and ride the next day in the competition. I think that would go away. I never did that.
Yeah.
When I was riding at the Dew Tour, there was none of that. But some of the pros actually do that and win the gold.
Some of the best guys.
The best guys win gold. Jamie Bestwick does not, but Daniel Dares does. And he wins. They're both X Games winners.
Yeah. Daniel hasn't won an X Games since, I think, 98. So
What was it? What was the year that he won last? It wasn't that far
maybe
away.
10 or 11 probably.
Was it one of the real X Games or the fake
He tries to claim
international
those, but those aren't real.
Yeah.
No, I mean in the sense of when he tries to like compare his medal count against like Dave Mirra's.
Yeah.
It's like, no, Dave went every year and won. It's like
in America.
You can't win like, yeah, exactly.
Can you say America? Just give me America.
America, yeah.
Yeah, I just like hearing it out of your mouth.
The country that I live in. So, do you miss the BMX thing at all with it in the Olympics? Do you wish this is something you were a part of? Or are you so content with your life right now, you just kind of are happy to be a fan?
Happy to be a fan. I really want to go watch it in 2020 in Japan. Hopefully with you somehow. How do I say? It's exciting to watch it, being in the position I'm in today, being, I'm living my dream as it is currently, from being successful, from BMX transitioning to owning my own business and, being an entrepreneur and, being free of whatever. I could do whatever I want all the time. If I took that away and I wasn't doing as well as I was, let's say if I was doing below what I was doing in my peak in BMX, I don't know if I can answer that question.
Yeah.
Or what the true answer would be. Currently right now, could not be any happier than I am right now. I hope that one of the guys that I'm friends with, even from Daniel to even one of the guys that I was buddies with win the Olympics. I mean, how awesome is this, But in reality, it would be really cool if Daniel wins for the fact that him and I used to ride together. So I could be like, we rode together 20 years ago.
He's probably the one in there that you're connected. He might have a hard time getting in just based on being from Venezuela. But
I want to say a year and a half ago, or when did we find this out? About a year and a half ago?
It was after this event last year.
Oh, it was?
1 year ago.
Are you sure?
This is the event last year where they sealed the deal.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
100% positive.
Well, you fucking know more than me. All right, so with that being said, I remember Daniel not riding the best here.
Yes.
But then after this contest, after the other feasts, or let's be real, right after they announced that, all of a sudden he turned it on and he started riding really good and he wound up winning the overall. Doesn't matter how he won it. Kyle. We could just give him that sound piece right there, right? Kyle, shut up. But he won it all of a sudden because that's something that Daniel has that I don't think many of the riders today have. They don't have the switch. What I had was the switch. Yep. He has the switch. Jamie Bestwick has the switch.
You know, and one thing I'll give you three as well. I think you're great examples of three guys with a very strong knowledge of how to compete. I think whatever sport it is in, all three of you guys could do well. And Daniel goes into these events with strategy. He goes into it with well thought out runs. He puts in the time. He knows what to do. He knows how to pack as many tricks in his runs as possible because he's doing the same tricks he was doing riding against you. He's not bringing anything new to the table, but the way he can ride the whole course and whatnot is it's like a science, you know?
It seems, and from his point of view and from mine, because we've had this conversation, when we see other guys ride and we see them, you know, at the competition riding in any of the finals or whatnot, I've definitely been with him over the last couple of years, and we look at each other and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
Do they not even know? And he's told me that half the guys that have rode like that they have all the tricks, but they don't even know how to ride. I said, do you not want to help him out? He goes, Mike, I've tried. Yeah. And I believe him. Yeah. And I go, well, what do you mean? He goes, I've tried to go up to him and go, okay, what trick can you do here? What tricks can you do on this ramp? What tricks can you do on ramp C, D, E, F? Okay.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to put them together. And it goes in one ear, out the other, and they nod their head up and down. They don't actually listen to one of the best competitors that's ever been.
You know, I think that's part of the individual sport that is BMX.
Yeah.
I think you get into this by just doing you. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? And I think most people don't get successful in this listening to others, but there needs to come a time when they do. And I think that time is now, especially with the Olympics, when some of these people are strategically putting coaches in place. You know, with Jamie Bestwick and the British team. I think it's a great example. If they're not listening to Jamie Bestwick, they're screwing up.
Well, I was just talking to Jamie, and Jamie and I consider us friends now today, and he's someone I looked up to when I was younger. We've been like friendly competitors, and just for the fact that we're in BMX, and we trained at the same place, but at the same time, he's the top dog. He's the top guy. And I was just talking to him, I said the first thing to him, I go, hey, I just found out that you're a part of being like the coach for the UK. And holy crap, dude, that's awesome. And he was so positive about it. And I go, I can't imagine if I'm one of those kids or who, you know, I think I know a few of the guys that he's technically coaching.
You do,
yeah. Alex Colborn. Declan.
Yep.
Okay. So those are guys that, you know, are really good. Alex is amazing.
Yes.
But if I'm them, and I would tell Alex this, I'm like, you have the best coach possible. It's not possible to have a better coach. It's not. I would try to like shake their neck and grab them by the head and say, you cannot have a better coach. It's not possible. The only reason why you will not win the Olympics is if you do not listen to this dude.
Yep.
If you listen to him, you can win and have a gold medal. It's that simple.
Yep.
But is there any other coaches that you could say in BMX right now that we could have that conversation with?
Well, Ryan Nyquist is helping the girls from the United States.
Okay.
Bit of a different ball game.
I didn't know that. So Ryan Nyquist, obviously you know as well. Obviously you're great. You'd be great as well.
You know, when I look at the whole landscape of the Olympics, this is kind of changing gears. But have you seen Logan Martin ride in full form?
Yes, he's amazing.
He's on an incredible level.
I think to me, he's probably the best BMX park guy right now.
He goes high. He does all the tricks.
All of them.
He's a hell of a bike rider. Not even if you're not into this style of riding, he can do good at whatever style of riding you're into. He's an incredible athlete. He's an incredibly impressive guy, and that's one dude. Looking at the Olympics, like I'm incredibly impressed with. But for some reason, Mike is taking a photo of us right now.
Oh, I thought it was cool.
Anyways, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, any picks on your end? Who do you think is going to take it in the Olympics?
Taking the Olympics? Oh, I don't. Fuck. It's who's going to take it / who do I want to take it? Right?
Yeah.
Those are two different things. Yeah. I'd probably say between Logan, Daniel, Alex, and Brandon.
Lupos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say one of those four. But what's crazy is it's probably going to be one of those four that get the gold, and the guy who gets second and third are not going to be one of those four. It's going to be, possibly someone that those guys, 3 of those 4 are going to fumble.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be the most, if they understand where they are and what they're doing, it's the most pressured contest they've ever been to.
I can't even imagine that.
In their life. Ever.
Building up 4 years for essentially 2 runs. 2 runs, 2 minutes.
I gotta say, I'm kind of happy that I already was stressing out by doing 5 runs, 10 runs for the year at the Dew Tour to really, and then for Olympics, I remember us talking about, if it happens. But it was just talking about it also to, explain to sponsors that this is a possibility.
Yeah.
But for it to actually be happening in real, that's amazing. I mean, what it could do for the sport, I'm not sure, but I just hope it's one of the guys that I'm cool with. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, my buddy is an Olympic gold medalist. I hope it's Daniel, just so I could say I used to ride with him. It's almost like my Walmart bike. Yeah, I have a bike in Walmart. Check it out over there.
I have a bike in Walmart, and the guy that just won the gold medal, I've beaten on more than one occasion.
I like it. Yeah, so should that be the reason why we hype for Daniel Dares, Venezuela? Let's fucking do this.
Yeah, we'll see. What about that time that Jamie Bestwick told you to fuck off?
Yeah.
I don't know this story. You just were like, you can ask me about it.
No. He was just very. He was a commentator in 2000 for a couple of years, right? Remember when he was a commentator?
He still does a lot of TV stuff.
Well, you were just asking me about when he did the TV commentating stuff. So when Jamie did it, that's what you were asking me about. And so basically, I remember. I guess he said that it was during a part when. It was not a correct format. Remember they were trying to figure out the format in 2007?
This is the Dew Tour?
Yeah. Do you remember that maybe?
Kind
2007. It was like, I wasn't a fan of it, but then when I got there and my tricks were not the most consistent tricks, like 7 whips and 1080s, that I wound up going, oh wait, I could do 4 or 5 of my tricks and then try to go for this big trick. And then I didn't really understand the rules because of course no one explained the rules that well. Yeah. So I got up when I fell on the 720 tail up and I tried it again. You ready for who yelled at me? I know this is so random. Alan Cook, after the fact, after I pulled the trick, actually yelled at me and said, you weren't supposed to get up, and I just played the dumb card. Oh, I don't know.
You were supposed to crash and then get out.
Yeah, and get out, so I didn't know. But anyways, Jamie was actually the commentator for that, and he didn't say the most positive stuff, right? About me, about just, being overrated and such.
Okay.
And this was the time when, sponsors were a big thing. But I understood, talking about this now, it's 11 years ago. I actually understand. I understand why he said what he said. Him and I actually, cordial at the event. Then we saw each other a week later at Woodward Camp. We talked for a sec, not the most positive. And then a couple days later, he comes to me and we worked it out. It was pretty cool. That's his maturity, right?
Yeah. Is that the whole story?
Yeah, there were some fuck yous, but yeah.
Was that during that post conversation?
Yeah, I don't know.
So you never mind, whatever. Yeah, man.
I'm trying to.
Jamie's a great guy.
He's really great.
And 9 times out of 10, I'd assume he's probably in the right and you were in the wrong. Especially young Mike Spinner was a bit of an asshole.
Was I?
No, yeah.
I didn't know any better.
Yeah, well,
I was this cute, innocent kid, and I don't know if you saw a picture of me when I was younger. I was cute, not the picture of like.
Sitting on the shitty car with the afro?
No. Like 10 years before that, I was really cute. Yeah, no, I actually went to him. He basically said some not nice things about me. And I actually said to him that it hurt my feelings and it bothered me. But I might have said it to the NBC producer guy, which was technically his boss.
Gotcha.
So it got back to him in a really negative way.
Yep.
So that's really the story, but it's Jamie Bestwick, so that's why it's a story.
It's all squashed now. Everything's good.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yeah, I was so happy to just see him a couple hours ago.
So what's next for you? What's your next business venture? What's your next move with the company? I mean, what's big on your horizon here?
Oh man, I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Every day we work. I work as hard as I can, hoping that I feel like I'm missing out on work all the time. That's like the drive that I have in myself is feel like I'm always missing out on opportunity. Feel like we're always missing out on, growing what we're currently doing, or we could be doing it better. And I think that's what keeps us going. But at the same time, it doesn't put a ceiling on it because there is no ceiling. I don't know of what's the dollar amount that we have to sell in a month to say we did it. There is none of that.
Yeah,
we just keep going without saying numbers. In November, we hit our record month in dollars. Then in December, we did that again. The same dollar amount. And then in January, we did a record again over those November, December. And then March, we did a record. And then April, we did a record. I mean, but it's not, I'm not thinking, we're not celebrating that night. We're not celebrating that night on, what went down. It's like, all right, how do we keep it going? How do we keep it going?
Keep the avalanche happening.
Yeah. How do we keep it going without stopping? So, yeah, I don't know. I'd say the most important thing is from BMX, I learned myself is just, there's no limits. You could do whatever you want to do. We could wake up today and come out with the newest trick. I could wake up today. We could come out with the newest way of marketing a new product. It's unstoppable, and that's what makes it awesome. There's no correct way to go left or right.
A lot of creative freedom.
Oh, everything.
And it seems very rewarding.
It's pretty rewarding.
Hey, one more thing I thought would be interesting to touch on for those who don't know. The girl you married recently is actually a BMX rider.
Yeah, she raced BMX in the professional class. And we knew each other for over, I want to say almost like 8 years before we actually ever went on an official date. And then we started, I took her out to dinner, everything, and she wouldn't play into my, I thought I was a cool guy, BMX moves, do you want to party?
She knew BMX enough. So she knew you weren't cool.
Yeah, to stay away. Yeah, I don't know. I think she knew I wasn't the coolest guy, but it was hard to get her to go on dinner with me. But I knew that what the coolest thing was, I never thought I'd be on a date with a girl that not only understood that we could talk about a BMX sprocket, which actually was a part of the conversation, like the size of, that sounds so bad, the size of our sprocket.
Yeah.
To how driven she is at her job and her career, obviously myself as well, and then also wants to go out, party, have fun, and just, have fun with their friends and have a close-knit friend. It definitely, girl life, I didn't think I would ever find another, it's the best I would do. So I was like, oh shit, I don't know what to say,
she's your silver medal.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, who's my gold medal?
I don't know. Is it business?
Gold. She's gold. Yeah.
I was kidding. Yeah. So, arguably, you wouldn't have married this chick if it wasn't for BMX.
Probably not. No.
So it's formed a lot of your life and where you are today.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where I would be. Yeah, without riding a bike, without meeting the friends that we met. Shit. It's pretty nuts, man.
Yeah.
We're in France doing an interview about a decade ago of riding bicycles, and I hate when people always say, we ride kids' bikes for fun, that's my job, when I would hear people explain what we did for a living, because it was kind of degrading in the tone. But we rode little bikes, we did tricks on them, but we got so freaking good that we became the best in the world. And then there was ramps, and we did tricks on those that we became the best in the world, where people wanted to put that on TV and put then stickers on our helmets, which then they would pay a lot of money to put stickers on our helmets, and then we could either save money and either save up and try to come up with another dream, or there's professionals here that I saw that are filming here that have made tons of money, and they pissed it all away at the bar or making bad decisions, and it's crazy, and that person looks like he's struggling, But, hey, to each their own, and I'm living the dream, and not everyone is, and
No, I mean,
I don't know.
You learn your lessons, and you play the cards you're dealt, and you see where you get, I mean, that's real life. I think that's pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. Final question before we get off here. Who's your favorite BMX rider of all time?
Ooh. Fuck. Could be Dave.
Figured you'd say Dave.
Yeah. And if he was still here, I'd say him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it wasn't. He was one of the only guys I looked up to when I was younger. When I met him, he was the only professional that held his. How would I use that word?
Aura,
yes.
The aura he had around him. Remained.
Yeah, like when you meet normally, if you ever have.
When you meet your heroes, they disappoint you.
Yeah. When you meet your heroes, they're normally not your heroes anymore. I actually have a lot of those.
Same.
A lot of those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was probably the only one that still, when I met him, he was still fucking Dave Mirra.
Everything you wanted to be. Everything that 13-year-old wanted you to be.
And he was better. He was fun goofball that would have fun with his friends and would just fuck around. And then like while we're riding, we're having fun. And like that's how we got so good at riding, was because you're having fun with your friends doing tricks and having fun, and you're talking shit, but like fun shit, not bad shit.
You need to talk shit.
You know?
It's part of living. Tell this. We'll end on this, but tell the story about when you met Dave on the Super Tour.
Yeah.
I like that story. That's a cool story.
And then when I met him again.
Yeah. I mean, tell it, and I'll make sure you tell the part I'm thinking of.
Okay, so met Dave Mirra. This is when I must have been 12 years old. So I'm 30 now. So 18 years ago, met Dave Mirra on the Dave Mirra Super Tour, and I went round and round on the autograph signing. Is that what you were talking about? And I got their autographs multiple times.
No,
are you talking about the email address part? Oh yeah, no, that was actually the Roots Jam.
Okay.
So I met him multiple times, and you never know if they know you or not. So I'd like totally, I'd make sure I'd remind them. Yeah, Mike, I'm so and so. Somehow he gave me his email address, and
when you were what? 13?
All right, so if I was 12 at the Super Tour, I might have been 13 at the Roots Jam.
So you were still a child.
Oh, yeah. I'm a little annoying kid.
Yeah.
Annoying kid. And you know what's cool is I met all his, like, Mike Laird, Scott Wirtz. That's his crew, right? Yeah. And that was the only year that I think he did Roots Jam. And he, like, totally killed it.
Yeah.
He wrote it really, really good. And got his email address, which it's Dave Mirra. I remember when he was giving it, I knew my negotiating skills. I was like, hey, Dave, please, I'm such a fan. I won't tell anyone. Like, I'm like throwing out all the signs on why he should give it to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like a cute kid, and I obviously love BMX. I mean, I love riding a bike. I know everything about every trick, Anyways, he gives it to me, and I definitely messaged him a bunch of times, but then as I got older, I knew Dave, and I messaged him on AIM. Remember AIM?
Yep.
And he definitely did not know how AIM worked. So probably when I messaged him, he probably was like, "What the fuck is Bike 9 Mike?"
I got a virus, honey.
Yeah. So anyways, should I say now the decade later?
Yeah.
So So I'm 13. So it's not even a decade later. I think I was 20. So 7 years later, I'm at his house. 2006, at the end of the season for BMX, I'm at his house, and he's asking me, he said to me, hey, I'm going to send the agreement over to you, the mirror code.
He's going to sponsor you.
He's sponsoring me, and he's sending me, it was already worked out, but he had to send me the agreement. And I'm waiting for him to ask me for my email address. I'm waiting, and then I finally just go, don't, like a little nerd, and I'm like, don't you need my email address? And he's like, no, you're Bike 9 Mike. I'm like, oh shit, it's me. You connected the dots. I don't know if I should be embarrassed or not. And I was just, I was at his house. I'm at Dave Mirra's house with his amazing wife, like, who's letting this random kid at their house.
Dirty, disgusting kid.
Well, no, you ready for this? Even worse. They're letting Daniel Dare stay at his house too. So like, that's how good of a wife Lauren is. Yeah. So he's letting these two people, but he knew Daniel for a while. I'm at his house, and he says to me, no, I know your email. And I'm like, oh shit, you put it together. And they have these couple dogs, and I'm just petting the dogs because I don't know what else to do with my hands. So when you're awkward as shit at someone's house and you see a dog, you just run to the dog to pet the dog.
Totally, it's not going to be a problem.
Wait, if you're petting it
attention.
And you just start saying things like, "Oh my god, you have the cutest dog ever," if you don't. But they did. And I'm petting the dogs, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then this email address thing comes up. I'm like, I'm waiting for him to ask me. And he never asks. And I'm like, don't you need to know? And he's like, no, you're Bike 9 Mike. I know it, Mike. Or I'm like, oh my God.
I think that says a lot about Dave, what a cool guy he is.
That's how awesome it was.
You're thinking he's giving you the fake phone number. What I mean? The rejection hotline. But he's like, no, I remember all of this very well.
Blown my mind. And I'll think about it. We're talking about that. So now 18 years later, still talking about it. I'll never not talk about that, Isn't that crazy?
No, that's awesome. That's Dave's legacy.
Yeah.
Closing on this, I'll say it because it'll piss you off if I do, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Oh, shit.
Cheers to you on being the only person I know that was actually a millionaire before 30.
You don't know? No, you know some other people. Right?
Who? No, I don't know.
Fuck. No, I'll take it. Fuck it.
All right, Mike, you good? Anything you want to add?
No. Thank you for everything you've done, Kyle, and you're a good guy, and you're very smart and good at what you do.
EVLsports.com. What's the URL?
I'm not saying that shit.
All right, that does it for this episode. Follow Mike Spinner on Instagram and Twitter at Mike Spinner, no space. And check out Mike's sports nutrition company, Evolution Nutrition, at evlnutrition.com and at EVL Sports on Instagram. Thanks for listening, and just remember, it doesn't count if you don't pull the rollback. Goodbye.